Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. I wanted to do this post yesterday. Well, this podcast post, video post yesterday dealing with parents and how, it could be a tough situation with trying not to. Well, first you got to get an understanding before you trying not to. So, growing up, I'm going to use myself as an example. Growing up, I didn't know all that my dad was into, right? As I got older, children are very known sponges. They soak up everything. They see everything. So you may see them imitating things or whatever. So I just knew that Dad had too many 50s, too many $100 bills, and I know that my mom made more. Dad worked for DC government Department of Public Defenders as an investigator, but he just had too many 100s and 50s, right? Every other year he got that new Cadillac. Yeah, that's probably why I don't like Cadillacs now, but anyway, he got that new Cadillac. Always was dressed. His nickname was Silk, so he was dressed to the T. His apartment was laid out. House was laid out when he got the house or whatever, and it just didn't add up. Mom's worked for the federal government. I knew she made more money than Dad, so pieces came together more and more as I learned from his friends and stuff, and I found out Dad was actually pen playing hustler. And I didn't know until older as well the domestic abuse aspect for why my mom left Dad the first time, right? So, but I did know things while I was growing up. I did know that he had a bunch of women around and that he wasn't happy. So I remember when I was getting ready to go in with my first love, right? And she was older than me, 24, and I was 18. And like, yeah, Dad, I'm getting ready to settle down. Like, boy, you ain't gonna settle down. You're gonna be just like me. I'm like, I don't know. You ain't happy, Dad. I'm saying this to myself. I ain't say it to him physically, but I said it to myself. And, I knew that although my dad was always in my life, he wasn't there how I would be in my child's life. Where, like, example, I can give you better examples. So, at one time, he was messing with one of my friend's sisters, older sisters, and this dude was telling her everything we did in the hood. So he found out one day we was getting ready to get jumped, and we ran. And he like, boy, you better never run again. I found out you run, you gonna have to deal with me. I'm like, damn, Dad, you ain't told me how. He grew up in the South Side too. He ain't told me how to put them together. He ain't told me how to bob and weave. He ain't told me how to block. He ain't told me how to do nothing. But he gonna tell me, don't you run. That's the craziest thing in hell. But I fear my dad was my superhero, so I fear him more than I feared them jokers in the street. So I told my man I can't run no more, and I didn't. Never, ever, ever. Still don't. Either I'm gonna analyze and see how to work it out, try to calm it down, throw a peace sign like Martin Luther King, or hey, if it's time to rumble, gotta get it in. It's like Malcolm X, by any means necessary. But I consciously strove and strive now to do things differently. And definitely once I found out, it was never in me to hit a woman, as I said, when I was trying to become a pimp or whatever, when I was in the hustling game. I couldn't wrap my head around hitting a woman, you know what I'm saying?